some anger issues. I watched my mom date crackhead after fucking crackhead after fucking crackhead. I'm fighting these niggas, bro. I'm going to fucking school with no clothes and thrift store shit. So now I gotta talk shit to get people off my back. You know, my dad sending a check, but that ain't enough. My mom's working, doing all these hours, and she's trying to fix people because she's broken. I couldn't have, like, bro, it's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, I hated people, bro. I saw the dark side of everybody, and I was very angry.
Made me think of a time where we kind of had a little disagreement with each other. I don't know if you remember that.
He really know how to bring up some crazy. I knew you was gonna do this. Go ahead,
man.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it, but I know it had something to do with video.
Yeah.
Stuff. I don't know the exact words. What I took from it though is, first of all, I was more upset that after everything happened.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there was words. You even invited me to pull up to beat my ass.
I did not do that.
He didn't say that. But he was also like, nigga, I'm going to show you I ain't from Blue Springs type shit.
I didn't do that.
You didn't?
Well, I got some problems, bro. I'm like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde person.
Nah, because...
Everybody keep telling me these stories of me doing stuff like that. And, like, I'm so settled into who I am now, I'll be like, that can't be true.
Bro, I wasn't even upset that you said that, because actually I was like, that's dope, I'll fight it. But at the same time, I was more upset that I had got you to that point, because you're a person I respect, always respected, and admired, and you not even that type to just like be off the hinge like that. I'm not saying you won't fight, but you're like my bro TJ.
Yeah.
Y'all so nice that it takes me a minute to get there too, but I'm a little more temperamental than. But so for me to get there, because I had this moment with TJ too, not to fight, but I had him disappointed in me in a way that I've never seen him disappointed, and it really hurt my feelings. Not that you did it, because I felt like I disappointed you and got you to that.
And I think it's funny because I don't exactly remember the situation, but like I know how I am. And I can kind of understand why I probably would have been on that type of energy. And I think you ever see people like go through like growth spurs and they like kind of goofy with themselves? You know what I mean? Like kids, they get so tall, but they still lanky and they goofy. I think I went through so many growth spurs where like I got to a certain level, but my maturity level hadn't caught up with me. Okay. You know what I mean? So like, even like then, I think I was kind of on my fitness stuff, and like, you know, I had some muscles. I was lean out here, and like, I think my aggressive side grew so fast, which I've always been aggressive, but like, I thought I had changed and fixed a lot of stuff, but I hadn't. So like, even when I used to have these episodes, like what you're probably describing, I would always do that, and then I would calm down, and I would feel like a failure, because I'd be like, oh man, I thought I got rid of that person. And it's still there. But like, I think now that person isn't gone. But like, I realize I don't want to get rid of that dark side no more. Like, not that I want to be out here acting like I don't want to fight and be crazy. But like now, I
so
like.
You don't.
I don't want to. I like that energy, so I can use it for other stuff. I don't want to lose that person. I used to try to get rid of him. Like, oh, let's act like he doesn't exist. And every time somebody would come up on me or something would happen, I felt like God kept challenging me, like sending me situations out of nowhere. Bro, I'd be in the back of the gym and somebody would be like, I'm glad I'm the strongest person in here. I'm on the treadmill. Like, why are you saying this to me? And then I would clap back.
Ain't nobody said I'm glad I'm the
Bro, I swear I was on the treadmill and this dude walked up to me. He was a crazy dude in the gym. And he was like, something about something like this. Ain't nobody strong in it. I'm doing cardio, bro. And I'm like, why is he saying this to me? And you know what I mean? I think I said something back, like something about, but you ain't the smartest, or something rude. And I'm like, why do I always have to clap back? Like,
I don't know why that's so
bro, I'm telling you.
That shit is funny.
I used to get some.
I wasn't expecting that.
But I feel like I kept getting challenged, and like, God kept giving me these situations where like, you got to learn how to respond in a better manner.
Yeah.
When things, like, you don't always have to clap back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to try to clap back, because I'm good at it, bro. I used to pride myself on it, and then I start realizing, like,
very witty too,
bro. And I used to pride myself on it. Like, as soon as somebody say something, bro, and I would walk into the room and size everybody up, because I'm not playing, and I am disgusted to say this. If I was around you, I had clapbacks in the holster. I would size everybody up.
I ain't gonna lie, that's fine.
But I had to, man, just because of how I grew up, bro. I that was my defense mechanism, to get people up off me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's not something I'm proud of, but like, I used to be very proud of the clapbacks. You know what I mean? So that's crazy, bro. I don't want no problems with you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Nah,
I know.
So, well, the purpose of that was to really give you flowers. Because I remember at a point, and I was discussing with myself, not only because of the disappointment part, but the fact that I was texting you. I don't text no nigga about no
beef type stuff. Yeah.
But it wasn't even like, because I know I'm not a complaining person. I try to give people grace. Even at that time, I know we were texting something. It was originally not even an issue. I think I took the way you said something wrong. Like, you know how you try to read into text message, you might have didn't even say it.
But the problem is, and that's why I love video so much. That's why I did video. I think a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. Mm-hmm. So I would always just start calling people, because and it might have been me, because I'm that trash at getting my words out through like text. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I like to talk to people. You know, I really love video. And I think that's why I like the fitness thing, because like, you can see the work. Mm-hmm. You don't have to guess it, bro. If I step in the room, shoulders, chest, that, like, you ain't gotta guess it. You see the work. Like, video, you see it. Like, I don't like all that talking. Like, if people ain't got it on video, did it even happen anymore? You ever think about that?
I think they missed the deepness of that message. That was deeper than what it sounded.
You see it. That's why I love fitness. You see it. It's like walking out with your bank account over your head. Like your net worth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, 2.1 million. Oh, looking good, buddy. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
That's how fitness is.
That wasn't in the tuck?
No,
that just came off your
that's
head
off
like
the top. Y'all rap? I got bars too.
Because I'm always looking for the lesson in something. Even when I was that young, I was still finding the lesson in things or whatever. And I was like, man, I should never be texting a man about this kind of stuff. Because, you know what I'm saying? It made me feel like a punk, because I'm not normally doing it. But we started off texting. Yeah. It ain't like I called you for beef or text you for beef. We started off texting, and then it turned. But
that's so weird.
My main memory is on down the line, because it was bothering me. Even though we weren't super close, but we did have some type of communication, and I had respect for him. So it started bothering me. I'm like, man, because I still followed you online.
Did we ever talk after that? Like, did we ever talk about that situation?
Not the situation. I'm getting to that. We did talk about the situation. But online, I had just seen you, and I'm like, bro, I shouldn't be like seeing this guy, liking his stuff all the time, and feeling uncomfortable like talking to him and stuff. And he's a great guy, as far as what I've seen. Yeah. And to me, you've always been a great guy. You've never disrespected, except for the time when we, we got a little. But I reached out to you. I don't remember if we talked or text, but I do remember reaching out to you, apologizing for my part in it. Yeah. And the thing that stuck out to me most was it wasn't just like, and I wasn't looking for an apology. Yeah. You didn't just apologize. You got descriptive with your apology. I don't remember exactly what you said, but it always stuck to me that you did that. Yeah. You got descriptive and you acknowledged what you did in it too. It wasn't just me like apologizing for you. So it let me know that you really meant it versus just apologizing because I apologized.
Well, because I'm aware that I'm trash sometimes. Especially I'm trash with other men. Because I'm very trash with other men, because I have issues growing up with men in my life. So like, whenever I would clash with men, I didn't have to guess where it came from. You know, I had a chip on my shoulder. I had now this ain't happening to me no more type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I seen y'all do this to my sister, my mama, Now I'm like, this ain't happening. So like, whenever there was any a little friction between me and another man, as an older man now, I would always like blow up. You know what I mean? I would get so mad because I always felt like I was helpless then. Now, you know, like I can really stand up for real. You know what I mean? Like I really had a problem. And like it took me a while to realize like I really don't like dudes for real. Like pause. But you know what I mean? I know I like doing that. But like for real though, like I don't like I got an issue with other men. You know what I mean? I grew up in a household full of women. You know, I got 2 sisters. I say my grandma, my mom in the South. I'm not even from Kansas City. You know that?
I didn't know that.
I'm not even from Kansas
Where
City.
you from?
I'm from West Memphis.
Ooh, nasty. My pop's from Memphis.
Yeah. But like I'm like in a different zone of trash West. I'm from West Memphis, which let me explain to you what West Memphis is. Which my dad lived in Memphis, so which you know how like we're in Kansas City, Missouri? You know how close we are to Kansas? West Memphis is in Arkansas. And if you cross the bridge, you're in Memphis.
Really?
So I was like in a small town in West Memphis, which it's pretty poverty stricken. It's kind of trash. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, bottom of the barrel type of stuff. But it was like Southern, still respect, you know what I mean? And then when I came to Kansas City, bro, I didn't know what hating was until I moved here. No disrespect towards y'all.
No. Talk.
But like, I didn't understand the level of disrespect that people could have until I moved here. Cause I moved here in 8th grade. So I knew, but like I didn't, bro, it blew my mind. So that's why I'm different too. A lot of people don't understand that, like something's weird about this dude. I'm not from here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, I'm a grown man now, but like my roots was just from so many places because my dad was in the military. So he was in the Navy. So I was born in Florida. I stayed in New Orleans for summer. We went to Virginia, New Jersey, you know, like countless places, you know, that we just traveled to. And I got yanked out of school a few times. So I was always forced to adapt. So that's why my sense of awareness is really high, but I get punished for that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the reason, because I like look at people's flaws as a way to, you know, to make sure I'm looking out for myself, because I had to, you know what I mean? So many times in my life, I've been yanked and put in different situations that like to where like I had to. When we moved here from West Memphis, bro, like we didn't have a place to stay. You know what I mean? Like my mom moved us here from West Memphis on a hum that she was gonna stay with somebody else. And like we were there for a couple of weeks and they put us out. You know what I mean? On some, this is too much. Bro, so when I originally moved to Kansas City, we stayed with somebody for like a week or so, and like we lived out of our car, bro. So like I was literally homeless. So now when y'all see me,
13.
About 13 or so, bro. We were homeless, bro. We lived in like a shelter. Like I woke up to the stale donut joints, like this is a win, and you know what I mean. And like I don't really talk about that, but like that's why I am the way I am, bro. Like family and bro, I remember all I prayed for was for a comfortable home, my guy, and a family. That was my biggest prayer. Bro, I didn't want money. And that's why people would be like, bro, you weird. Like, you know, like I pick and choose what I want to do because like, don't get me wrong, money is something that I want, but like, I'm so comfortable with my space and my family to where like, you ain't paying to take that away from me. You ever see people be like, bro, would you do this for 10 million? Be like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Like, that's going to devalue who I am. Like, bro, you can buy new friends. Like, well, you do that game. Like, I love my life that much to where, like, you ain't bribing me to, like, live with something that I'm not. Like,
comfortable with, and you're not.
Bro, so comfortable. So we moved here. We stayed in the shelter for, like, a month or so, like, off of Gillum, over there by that fountain. We stayed in the church shelter for a while. And like, it's just wild to think about that. Like, we went from living in West Memphis with my grandma to where that situation got abusive. So we didn't only just leave West Memphis, we kind of had to, because we really were in an abusive situation there. You know, where my folks, my grandma was just on some old time Southern beat the living crap out of you type of vibe. And it got to the point to where I started getting so older and strong-willed to where like the switches and the whooping, she had to start putting the hand. And my mom was like, we can't do this. Like I remember the last time, like she kicked me over like cleaning up, like washing dishes, because I was like standing weird. She's like, straighten up, kick. Like my mom was like, nah, we can't keep doing this.
You was standing weird while you was washing
dishes, bro. Like my grandma was so mean. So like I have to be careful because like that is it, bro, mean. Be like mean. Love, God bless her soul, but I'm talking like would say anything. Bro, when I grew up in West Memphis, if I didn't go to church on a Sunday, I had to stay in the house until the next Sunday. And that's just an ounce of the type of like I look back now, like the way that we were treated, like, and she wanted me to, like, she did some good too. The reason why I think I am witty and I am advanced in some areas, because my grandma also sat at the table with me and taught me stuff when I was young. She taught me, and she was a teacher in that sense. She helped me with my ABCs while my mom was going through some mental stuff, and she wasn't really able, you know what I mean, at a certain point in my life. Mm-hmm. And that was also very traumatic. So I just had back to traumatic situations, man. Like it's and like I think about it now with me and my wife, and we'll talk about it, and like I'll be remembering stuff like, whoa, no wonder I'm so, you know, broken in a sense. You know what I mean? Like I really had to overcome a lot of weird stuff that like I realize now that's not normal, and I'm like very protective now. Like even if we're sitting down eating, I'd be like this. My wife would make a joke. She'd be like, "You safe now. You don't have to guard your food while you eat." Like that's just my posture. Like I'd be like, and like some people don't notice it, but like she does, because like she knows me. So like I'm a happy person because I've learned to hide it, but like inside, bro, I'm a tornado. Like, you know what I mean? And so like it's so many different bullshit situations that like I had to deal with, man. And I used to get so mad and blame everybody, but as I got older, I was like, I can't keep blaming them, bro. Like I have to pick this up and fix it, because like I don't want this to spill over into my children. You know what I mean? I don't want this to spill over to them, bro. So like it's just
talking,
bro. It's so rough, and I think I just want people to understand that like you don't have to be that person. So when I moved to Kansas City, once we finally got out the shelter, we stayed on like my mom got a job, and we lived in this 1-bedroom house, and it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 or 5 of us in this 1-bedroom house off Warren. But I was happy then. We got a house, I didn't care. We all in there with the fan in the window. My mama turn it around to suck the heat out the room. Like it was a thing, like to suck the heat out of the room. Like that was, yeah. She told me blowing the hot air in didn't make sense.
We never thought of it.
Yeah, she was cunning, but it's a weird situation. And then I think people would know we were broke, and that bothered me. So like I had to get that defense mechanism up, because I had that in Arkansas too. You know what I mean? Like that defense, I was known for talking shit. Like,
what was the defense for?
I've realized at an early age that everybody has something that I can rip apart on them, and I can shut them down. You can be, I give you case in point, when I lived in West Memphis, he was a guy, he had all the Jordans, he was ultra clean, he had everything going on, but like it was a situation where like if you were the most well-dressed person, I would find a flaw. So like this dude, well-dressed, clean, but he had a belly on him. I roasted that dude all the time about his belly. You know what I mean? To where like he left me alone. Didn't matter how dusty I was now. He knew if he came to me, like I found it. You know what I mean? I found it. And like I would always find those flaws in the people and like just destroy them on it. You know what I mean? And like looking back at it, it's pretty petty and childish, but like that's all I had. You know what I mean?
Pick our own defenses, though. We all got this way of trying to defend ourselves that ain't so good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would imagine that the silver lining in you being like that at that time is that you probably changed a lot of them, because they may have been picking on hella people before you, but then you got at
the buck stops.
The way
you're 100% right. And like once I realized I was good at it, then I started attacking bullies. So I would see somebody roasting somebody else that couldn't quite get them like I could. You know what I mean? So like I started just attacking bullies. And it's wild to look back at it. And then like, because I was so charismatic, the real dudes that weren't bullies, that were about that life, gravitated towards me. So now, the bullies didn't want to mess with me because the real dudes thought I was funny, and they always had my back. So it was always like I had these guard dogs. So now I'm just like roasting everybody. To where like when I lived in West Memphis, I remember like we lived on 2113 East Jackson Avenue, West Memphis, Arkansas, 72301. I still remember that house. Traumatic. You can Google that house because it's like a little shack. You Google it. 2113 East Jackson Avenue, West Memphis, Arkansas. We lived in that house, and like we lived on like the main street in West Memphis, which is one of the main streets, which is Jackson. And these blocks are like, and then like 10 blocks away was the projects. So we were broke. We weren't as broke as the people in the projects. So like I thought we had money because we didn't live in the projects.
It's kind of like that Dave Chappelle effect where he was saying he lived in a hood at one point, but they had more money than the people in the hood. But when you get to that place where you think you got money, they got more money than you, so you still...
Bro, people don't realize how broke they really are. And that's no disrespect towards people. But until you get around people with just so much to where like, and like all that is for everybody. And we got to realize that too. Like, all that money, all the stuff that you want, all the success, it's for everybody. You know what I mean? But it's hard to see that when you come from a place of not. You know what I mean? But like it is definitely out there for everybody, man. And like, where you grew up you from Kansas City originally. Have you ever stayed anywhere else?
We moved to Topeka for a hot second with our father. Then when we came back, we moved to Topeka. We was in the shelter for a minute out there. We stayed with our cousins. And then my pops wanted his own, and so we ended up moving in the shelter until he got his own. It happened in some type of way.
So you know about that shelter life, huh?
Yeah, because when we got back here, we actually moved into a shelter. We stayed with my mama for a minute. Then she got robbed or something like that. Then me and my brother was so used to living with our father. We didn't have to, but we wanted to go to the shelter with him, though. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing against my mama, but we were trying to be. We was around women our whole life. Like, we was raised by 3 grandparents and my mother and stuff. And my father was there, too. He was just like, most of our time was with them. You know what I'm saying? So when we got with him, we, hey, I'm going to shelter with you, pops, type shit like that. But, yeah, we from Kansas City.
The only one dope thing about moving to Kansas City, it was like 2 parts of it. It's like when I moved here, and then we stayed on Walren, 68 and Walren, and then we stayed, after that, we stayed on 55th and Wabash, which that was crazy. I had no idea. That was rough to take in at a young age. 55th and Wabash was off the chain, bro. Yeah. But like, one benefit that I had was I didn't have any family here other than like my mom and my sisters. So like, and her kids, to where like, I watch people go through stuff and be affiliated with stuff that they really didn't have a choice on. So like that saved me. Like, cause you'd be like, oh, that's my cousin. It's from this block. Or I didn't, like, bro, I didn't even know Bloods and Crips existed.
Really?
Not like that.
Cause it's out there now, though.
It's out there now,
but it's in Memphis.
Yeah, but like, but like, bro,
spread.
Like, cause when I got here around 99 and 98 and stuff, like, bro, like you couldn't wear certain colors, which is kind of hard to believe.
In certain street,
you couldn't. And I thought this was crazy. People were wearing Cortezes with fat red laces, and then like I quickly adopted to where like I ain't never wearing red, like just that fast in a year. I'm like, yeah.
You was in the 50s.
Yeah, it's like I'm never wearing red ever in my life. Like, you know what I mean? It took me to meet my wife to be like, all right, red is okay. She like red. Ain't that whack? You can do anything for a woman, huh? Throw that red on. Like, bro, people used to be like, oh, them Jordans is hard if they didn't have that red logo on
for sure.
Bro, you'd be like, I look back like, yeah, we were so stupid. People would paint the logo. Bro, I had blue shoestrings in all my shoes. Biggest perpetrator ever. Bro, I ain't got not one cousin from a, like, I had nobody here in the gang. I just
paint K-swishes.
Bro, it was wild. But Kansas City was wild, bro. Yeah. And Kansas City was so wild. Bro, our schools in West Memphis was one level. We knew everybody. So you gotta think, when I went to Southeast, bro, it's 5 floors. I was terrified.
3.
Our lunchroom was on the 5th floor.
Why would you make the lunchroom so high up?
That
should be like middle, right?
They wanted us to work out. They were all about fitness. No. You gotta work out to eat.
No, they wouldn't.
But like, that was...
So why was you terrified?
It was just so overwhelming for me, man. Like, I didn't know anybody. It was the first time they started the neighborhood schools, so like when the bell rang, it would be so many people. They had the population off, and they had everybody from like down north to midtown. They had they messed it up, and like we felt the wrath of it that year because it was like too many blocks in Southeast. They definitely didn't map it out right.
Gangster.
It was bad, bro. Like, and I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I am going to die. Bro, my first day of school, I almost got into a fight because I stepped over somebody's dice game. I'm like, I'm going to die. Like, bro, like, this is terrible.
Wait. Oh, why would you step over?
I didn't know.
Even though you shouldn't, now that I'm older, you shouldn't be shooting dice in school, but like you didn't see it was a crowd of people and you just
didn't care. I still thought I was tough though, too. But I'm like, I learned real fast that, hey, bro, you got zero help, my guy.
That's
bro,
crazy.
I'll tell you a situation that happened to me in the lunchroom, bro. I was in the lunchroom and like we were so about respect in the South to where like I was so flabbergasted that people were so rude.
Didn't speak.
I was sitting there and like somebody like reached on my tray and was like, hey bro, can I have that? And like we almost got into a fight. Cause I'm like, bro, we would never, and like touch my food. And I guess I embarrassed them in front of everybody. So I'm walking to class like, you can't say, you know what I'm saying, bro? 3 dudes grabbed me, threw me up against the wall, bro. And like just was like about to thrash me out.
What stopped you?
God. They could have. Bro, and I'm still acting tough, but like at that moment I realized like, bro, like you gonna have to leave that tough shit back in West Memphis.
Now you was right for standing. Now you don't reach over no
bro.
Like I would never do. I'm from Kansas City. That don't happen everywhere. They thought they could put a number on you or something.
And the bad part is I sounded so country because I was from West Memphis. So I'm in there talking like, hey man, what you gonna do that, Bill? Right? And they like repeat that, cuz. Like I used to say, girl, and I was so country, bro. I lost that accent so fast, bro. I was like,
the way you wear your hat, I can tell you. It looked like it now, especially when you do the accent too.
Man, I wanted goals in my mouth. I wanted all that southern stuff. I was, bro. Kansas City did me in, bro.
You gotta show me the high school pictures.
No, definitely
I know
not.
You got some.
Definitely not. Turtlenecks and stay float pants. I was wearing. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead.
The crease jeans.
Nah, bro.
Listen,
I stay floated up. Did they do that here,
nigga? Hell, stay flow and what was the little cornstarch? What were you? The yellow can.
Start with an F. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man, I used to get paid to crease people jeans.
Yeah.
My cousin Mac and them used to have.
They could stand up without you wearing them. You knew you were this dude.
It was dumb, bro.
So stupid.
You look back at that stuff, but anyway, man, you started talking about family and how important family is to you, and that's one other thing that I really admire you for, because not only, you know, you look online and you see things, you see people, they look happy, they look this, they look that. You are who you are online in person period.
I value that so highly.
And I met you in person first, but when you got online, it matched the exact person. And I've been around your wife before. Yeah. We met a couple times, your interaction with her is the same.
Yeah.
Your interaction with it was only your daughter at that time.
She a fool.
Your interaction with, and I always looked at those videos of her looking away, and I thought that was just so dope. But I see family, and first of all, when you first went to that name, I was like,
what is this about? Was you thinking like, what's this about? I'll tell you why I did that too.
I was looking at it on the surface, and I was like, wow, that's a dope ass name, because he's always lifting, and he's always with his family. But then I started thinking, I seek deeper understanding a lot of the time. And I'm like, I really want to know why. But that was a long time ago when I thought that. But now that we're here, what is the deeper meaning to that for you?
I basically switched over to going by family muscle as kind of a protection, because like I think my name was J5 at that time, and like I got that nickname at Southeast from some dudes in Southeast for a weird reason. I don't
for the movie.
Yeah, because I used to have a backpack on, and I used to be like J5,
okay,
J5, and then I did that as a protection, because when I got on Instagram and I started getting fit and I started like posting my journey, I didn't really post my family that much. Mm-hmm. And then like women started like making comments and like things started going in a weird direction. Mm-hmm. And like I was like, this is not cool. I always see where things are going, and I realize like what you can lose in the process. I don't ever want to set myself up to lose. I set up barriers to protect myself. So now if my name is Family Muscle, if I post anything that's not family or muscle related and I'm making it about me, then it's a problem. I set that name up as a protection barrier because I started getting women and other weird stuff. I was even doing like, when I had the J5 name, I was starting to do like ignorant comedy. And like, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing ignorant comedy, but I also know once you go a certain direction, that started popping. But I was like, I don't really want to be known for this. I don't want to be put into, I can't do that forever. But I can do Family Muscle forever.
It's so much into that.
You know what I mean? It was a protection. Like now it's like, this is what I'm about. You know what I mean? You put that out there and that's the energy that you're going to attract. So like, I'm not playing that game to where I'm online being something I'm not and I'm depressed. I shoot content for people. I see it. Mm-hmm. When people talk big games and talk all this money stuff and I meet up and they ain't got $100 to shoot a video. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. There's nothing against people, but like, that's something that's going to come back and bite you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So set your lifestyle up so it can match who you really are, so you don't have to go into some deep depression online because you faking it. Bro, I see so many people faking it because I can see it. When I'm editing people's stuff, or I see edits, or I can see when I'm videoing somebody and I'm editing through and they're acting a certain way, then they go, I can see it, bro. Yeah, I see it. I see people's imperfections on camera when you editing for 4 hours and they ashamed of their gut, or they're mad they got a double chin and I don't like that. Then fix it. Fix it. Stop living in a shadow and acting like you're about something. Like, fix it, bro. Like that, I hate to see people live like that. And I never want to live to where like, I got a parade. I want people to meet me and be like, oh shit, this is you more than I bargained for. When people come to my house and they see my kids playing around, like I've had multiple people say, dang, they just like that in real life. And I'm like, bro, like, it's easy to post content when you just being you. Super easy.
I ain't gotta be like feel regretful about it.
No, bro, I ain't gotta go into character. There's nothing wrong with that if you can mentally handle that. I can't handle that. That up and down. Like I wasn't emotionally stable to do that. I had to be me because like that fake stuff, I couldn't do it. I'm not about to be fake. And I think sometimes like that can bother other people though, when you're that comfortable with yourself. But like I set myself up to be that comfortable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think I was one of the few people in the pandemic that was happy. Bro, I was dumb happy in the pandemic. Wow. Bro, I set my whole life up to be stuck in the house with my family. A full home gym, 2 deep freezers.
Nice gym too.
Love my wife, enjoy being around my kids. Bro, we were winning in the pandemic. I was ashamed to say it. Stuck in the house every day with them. Loved it. I felt guilty.
That you were,
I feel super guilty.
That you found the benefit in such
tragic. Yeah. And like I that holds me back in a sense sometimes because like sometimes I be feeling like I don't want to feel like I'm bragging. Because sometimes you can see that weighs on people. But I set my life up for this. I didn't set my life up to be anything else but to have a family, because that was something that I always wanted and I lacked. A nice structured family. Like I always would pray and be like, man, I just want my own room. Bro, that was one of my prayers. Like if I could just have my own bedroom so I can invite friends over. Can we come to your house? No. I never had people come over to my house. I remember I just let I shot my homie's wedding, and that was the first time I let somebody come over my house, and he brought this up a few months ago. He was like, man, I can tell when you let me come over your house that was a big deal for you because you weren't really comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. Because just the setup when we were younger and I was still with my mom, there was just a lot of us in there, and I had like this little spot where it was like my room, and like he brought that up, and I didn't realize that I had got that comfortable with him to let him come. I was like, I let you in there? You mean? So that was a big deal, you know what I mean? But like, I think we just got to be real intentional about what we want out of this life. Mm-hmm. And bro, like, don't get me wrong, we need money, but like, bro, you really can be happy with a little right now. And I don't want to tell people not shoot for the stars. Yeah. But like, you don't need a lot. Bro, you can Uber Eats and be happy now. We live in an amazing time. You can be your own boss doing Uber Eats and flipping stuff online and make $50K a year with flipping your Uber Eats checks. That's a lot of money for average people. $50K is your own boss? There's some business people that aren't clearing that much money. They're just in a lot of debt. Ooh. People are in a lot of debt. You know what I mean? My best friend's an accountant. And that's another blessing that I have. So he runs the numbers. I'd be like, oh, bro, they doing this. He'd be like, well, this is their overhead. This is how much this costs. How many members do they got? This, and this. Their net is here. They're in a lot of debt. And I'm like, wow. But people are happy with stacking that debt up. And I know you got to play with debt and money to maneuver to win. And I've done that to get in different situations too. But like, people don't realize how people are moving, and people need to step back and really enjoy their lives, because sometimes you see these pictures being painted and it's just not everything they cracked up to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even with me, in a sense, I guess, there's a lot of stuff that people think about me that they don't know. You know what I mean? And they like, oh, I remember one time, bro, I was at work. And this hurt my feelings. Mm. I walked in and this girl was like, oh, look, it's Jonathan with the happy family.
Why hurt your feelings?
Because it was just like, I think I'm doing something good. And like, this is shitting on this person to where like they feel like they gotta shit on me.
Oh, she said it in a shitty way. Like,
yeah, like, oh, look at Jonathan. It's Jonathan with the happy family. And I would get that so much. And I would tell my wife, and she was like, yo, you just looking at things in a negative way. Until recently, a few years ago, I had a homie like, bro, I love everything you do. I know people, he was like, bro, people don't like that you move the way you move. And he told me something to where like, I was like, dang, people really be mad about me just being comfortable with who I am, bro. Like, they really don't like it. And I can understand that's a lot for people, because like, I do, because I even somebody, I don't want to say their name, they was like, bro, you really love yourself. And I was like, I do. Like,
out in a robe on a skateboard.
Like, bro, you really love yourself. Like, I really do, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like, I'm not out here trying to, because at the same time, I know I will do whatever I can to help the people around me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I really, really will. Like, if somebody was like, oh, you think you fit and got abs and a six-pack, and they reached out and they really wanted to know how to do it, I'd be laying out my whole blueprint to people.
Oh, I reached out to you before.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just make things so easy. I didn't say you make things so easy, but I'm saying that now.
Yeah, but now I get it, yeah.
The apology was so easy. Like, you just came right back. You didn't make me wait.
No, man, I'm not going to sit on it and be petty.
So me just asking you about, because like I said, I admired your physique. I admired how you was. And you just responded. I think I asked you, could you train me or something? I was talking about prices with you. It was like, bro, we could just
work out.
We just never got around to do it. Yeah. Again, I don't like to feel like a burden on people. And I know you probably one of them people, I don't want your money, but I'm like, nah, nigga, here. I don't want to feel like I owe you. Yeah. Or something like, and then like, we do have this thing where people don't get what they deserve from people. Like, and I would imagine you're one of those people. Like, you you see the potential in people. People know how great you are and tell you all this shit about yourself, but they're not willing to pay for it. Not that you're asking for the money, but not really to give you what you deserve for it, but they'll give somebody else some stuff.
I think too sometimes, like, and it's hard for people to, I don't think I express this, but like there's a lot of situations to where like there's people around that don't realize that like I pull a lot from them too. So like sometimes like even with a person like you, when you're like, hey, can you do this for me? Like, I don't want to say I feel like I owe you, but then I do. Because, let peep this though, because like, bro, when I was shooting videos for y'all and I was around y'all, I was using y'all to perfect my craft.
Gotcha.
I was buying, like, bro, where else was I gonna do this? So like, y'all gave me the opportunity to create a living off of something now that's a skill, bro, that I always have in my pocket. I make money off my camera to this day because y'all let me use you guys in a sense. And you guys were talented enough to where like I felt like I had to push to be good at what I did because I knew y'all were talented enough that people were gonna look. So like that was pressure that was put on me. So when somebody like you was like, hey, can you help me work out? Like, well, I can't be like, yeah, you, like in my mind with the way that I work, I can't be like, yeah, you pay this and this. I'm like, I use this dude. Like he can use my skills. You know what I mean? Like,
what you saying makes sense, but it has to be reciprocated.
It does.
In order for you, because you have this is, and it's the same with me too. But we talking to you.
Yeah.
If you just continue to give and give, because we don't know the reason why you're doing that. Mm-hmm. We don't know y'all using me. Yeah. I mean, I'm using y'all. So nah, we're just looking at it as a, some of us manipulating you. Some of us is like, we're just using you.
Yeah.
It has to be reciprocated. And that's for all things, because if you can look at it like you're doing or you're getting from us right now, that's the silver lining. And you're looking at the silver lining in it. But the other thing is you won't continue to move on those gifts if these things aren't reciprocated. Does this make sense? You won't. It'll get you like discouraged about doing certain things because niggas is not like niggas, just people just not like
trying to pay in.
Grateful for what
I understand
you're doing.
I understand that, and I think that was one of my biggest problems too. It's funny you say all that because like I would give until like people would get so used to giving, and once I would stop giving, I fell out with a lot of people over that. They would be like, I was a monster. And then I would be mad, be like, bro, I've done all this for you, and now like I want to stop. And then they'll hit me with but I was gonna pay you. But like in my mind, it's like I was doing what I wanted to do for free, so you couldn't hold me hostage. So that's something I would do too, because a lot of these things is like I'm so passionate about. I know people like make money off your passion, but like I have to be careful because like I feel like sometimes when people try to make money off their passion, it ruins the joy. In some situations, like that's why people are like, why haven't you became a personal trainer? I love the gym. I'm not about to get discouraged because people don't want to show up in the morning. They don't want to work and they don't love it as much as me. They only want to do it so they can squeeze in a dress. This is my lifestyle. Like, I'm not letting somebody pay to crap on it. Like, there wasn't an amount of money during that joyous time for me to start personal training people and them to be bullshitting me. Like, some people want to capitalize off that and they be like, I just want to help people be their best self. I do too. You know what I mean? But like, you ain't about to shit on my dreams and what I love and what I hold dear. I'm not like, what to say, don't cast your pearls to swine. I ain't like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like now I'm in a better place where like I'm comfortable enough. The cement is dry. I am who I am.
What does that mean?
My habits are so ingrained now, ain't nobody knocking it off. I don't care how discouraging they may try to be. The cement is dry, bro.
I'm still in that.
Like it's dry. Like the cement was damp. You could have put a handprint on it. You could have signed your name on it. It's dry, bro. You ain't changing me, bro. I am family and muscle now. You can delete everything. Delete all of it. Delete all the content. I'm who I am now, bro. It is game over.
Cement is dry.
The cement is dry.
Did that?
Bro, come on now.
You did freestyle.
I did, bro.
You had that.
No, I did not.
You cold.
bro, I used to roast people. This is another. This is where it comes from. You got to be witty.
But shout out to Bam, Knowledge. What does it say? All his aliases. Pharaoh Bam, Brian Wright. One of the doper episodes I had, man, he really got open. People are loving that episode right now. But during that episode, he mentioned you. He gave you credit for something I thought he started. It ain't never, like he said, I started this. He ain't never said that. I just, you're going to naturally look at Bam. He's the leader, so he's kind of, he's like a leader in a sense. And the way he moves, I did assume this, so that is an assumption I made that he started it. So when he told me, bro, I didn't start Man Up.
Even with Man Up, just real quick, even with Man Up,
I'm here.
It wasn't my initial idea. It wasn't my initial idea to work out at the park.
Okay.
It was Jonathan Henry's.
Shout out Jonathan.
You know what I'm saying? The thing about Jonathan is
talented individual.
That dude is so fucking amazing. You know what I mean? But he's keeping himself from the world, bro.
I didn't even ask him. This is the thing. He offered the information, which talks to the person that man is, which talks to which says he's not looking for credit that he doesn't deserve. Not that he's looking for credit for anything. Brian, who has given you a lot of praise as far as the talent you are, how amazing you are, but he feels like you just holding yourself back from the world. And I told you something I just recently heard, and this message had to be for you. You are, as much as you said you believe in God, so keeping that gift in that you have inside of you is holding the world back from the God in you.
Man, that's a lot. And it's funny because you remember Mark Davis, big blood dude? Mark Davis, dude got killed?
Oh, I never knew him, but I know who you're talking about. Light skin.
Yeah.
It is.
He came to my house probably like a couple months, a month or so before that happened, and he told me the same thing. And he was like, if you don't get in position, there's so many people that's going to be missing out. He told me that in my basement. And I was like, what? And he was like, bro, I'm serious, bro. You tripping. You should be doing this, and this. And like, I hear that a lot, but I think my biggest fear is like I was so emotionally unstable that I was going to try to make something big happen, and I was going to either clash with people or like have some type of issue where I was going to ruin it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really comfortable with my growth in a lot of situations. You know what I mean? So like even like what you said about Brian and him giving me praise, like Brian and I are a lot alike, but also very different. And I can always really be aware of people's strong suits. Like Brian is very slow to speak and quick and like slow to like cast judgment, and I'm the exact opposite. But just because that's where some of the wittiness comes from, but it's also a flaw of mine. Because while I'm trying to look at people's weaknesses and clap back, like I'm so quick to judge and put an emotional tie to stuff. I don't want to say I was, to where like that would harm me in a sense, and he doesn't have that problem. So for him to give me props about saying that it was my idea to start Man Up, like that's big. That's a big deal for him to say that.
And I didn't pull it out of him.
Yeah, and for him to say that out of nowhere, because like, and I'm gonna be real, when that situation happened, and I can tell you how it happened and why he says that, because it was my idea to go down there. I took Bam. I was like, hey, bro, come down here. We should have everybody down in the plaza. It's got pull-up bar. And I can see when he's seen it. It's a messed up situation. He actually broke his phone out there, too, the day that happened doing pull-ups. But when he saw it, he was like, oh. And I could just see, like, he was like, yeah.
Yeah, the vision.
He was like, he had the vision. So, like, I had the idea, But like, to be honest, I really wasn't ready to execute. I'm gonna be real. Because like those ideas for me come so much. I got an idea for everybody. That's why I bought him in the first place. I really wasn't even into calisthenics like that. You know what I mean? So like for me to bring him to the pull-up bar thing, and I'd never even thought about that until now. But like I brought him there for a reason. So regardless whether it was my idea, those shoes wasn't even meant for me. I was just so emotionally tied to ideas and being the person that's witty to where like I didn't understand that sometimes it was up to me to give people these things and just help them. You know what I mean? So like I wasn't able to come because of my job. So Bam kind of kept it going and he did it. He was there and I couldn't come because I was in sales and I could never show up on the weekend. That's when you made all the money. So I was kind of hurt for a while and I felt some kind of way about Bam. Like, dang, when I would see people, but like he made that happen. He hit that home run. Just because I pitched it, I didn't run up to bat and hit it. He hit it. You know what I mean? And he was tied to a lot of people that really needed that. You know what I mean? Like he was tied to people that really needed that. Great idea, but he executed. You know what I mean? And Bam, through that whole thing, never really was. I know he probably thought I felt a certain kind of way because I was kind of moved a little different, but like he never moved really different. You know what I mean? Like he didn't. You know what I mean? I respect him for that. When I did my fitness competition, I remember it to this day when it broke me that like I wasn't mad, but I was still a little salty because he made that shit crap. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, man, he named the man up. And I was like, dang, bro, like I did this, you know what I mean? But like I didn't. And it really clicked in my head that Bam was different when I did a competition. And I had did like 6 or 7 competitions. And I finally won my pro card. Like I finally won like the biggest show. It was like 54 dudes that I had to beat to advance to get my pro card. You know what I mean? In men's physique. And I remember when I won, I was so mad. Like I wasn't really smiling. I can show you the footage, bro. They raised my hand up. I'm like this, like because I got to the point to where like I didn't even care no more. I did everything I could do to win. If I won, I won. Emotion was totally detached. I did everything I needed to do. And when I won, my daughter was in the front row. Bam, put my daughter up on the stage, bro. Like he brought her up and put her on the stage and gave her to me. I can send you the picture. And I even thought about it then, like, dang, am I that humble to still do that? Like, would I have done that? Would I still been kind of salty? You know what I mean? Like, would I still been harvesting something? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And I think after that, like my guard kind of went down. I was like, oh shit, like I'm just being a little bit, you know what I mean? But like I always kind of had that protective ass energy. Like, all right, I don't want to get screwed over. You know what I mean? Because like my safety net was different from people's. I didn't really have a place to go. So like if I lost, I lost. Ain't no auntie house, ain't no big cousin. You know, I had people that I gravitated towards in the hood that like looked out for me because I think they knew I was different. You know what I mean? They'd be like, so like this is so wild, but like I always gravitated to and this is crazy, either the people with the most money, the most dangerous, they always gravitated towards me. And it was like weird, like they would just be like, and people used to think like, Howard, even when I was at the game, Nick walked up to me. He said, who you here with? Patrick Mahomes' cousin? And I'm like, why do I get that energy that like, but like, because I always gravitate towards, even when I was younger in Kansas City, all the biggest dope dealers were my friends. They would take me to the beat shop when they spent money. They would show me how they manage their money, and I picked that up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to really sell dope and go to jail because to me it was like, you gonna floss for a summer to do 10 years. Like, the logic just didn't work for me. I would rather work at the grocery store and slowly move up and be stable because I didn't want to lose my family again. That was never worth the risk for me. Even though I did dabble in some stupid stuff, but I quickly would be like, oh no, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? So like, I was either around the most violent people or the people with the most money, the most dope. So when I went to Southeast, I was very privileged to where like, I went through a lot of stuff. Southeast was trash, fires, fights. It was trash. Like you weren't gonna be smart at Southeast. It was so too trash. If you didn't have it, you were doomed. I got kicked out of Southeast, and I went to Hogan for a year because I got in trouble, and I was in the hallway. And when I was in the hallway, my mom came to get me, and I wasn't even kicked out. My mom actually took me out. And a teacher passed by. He was saying mother this, and said this to my mama, word for word what I said. My mom was like, oh, I'm taking you out of this school. So I went to Hogan for a year, and that's when I saw my wife. I saw my wife so if that wouldn't have happened, Family Muscle might not exist. Like, I seen her at Hogan, and I remember the first time I saw my wife. I had this other little homie I met, and I looked at him, and I was like, bro, that's me. Swear to God. Sorry to swear, but like I looked at her like, that's me. I seen her my junior year. I only went there for half a year, and I was like, that's me. And peep this, bro. I never talked to her the entire time we were at Hope. I was there. Never. We never had one conversation that I can remember.
Why was she you?
I just saw her. I liked everything about her. But bro, I never in my life to be like, I do see a chick, they be like, that's me, boy. I don't talk like that. But I was like, bro, that's me. We never talked the whole time we went to school. I actually ended up catching up with her after school.
That's me. When you said it then, did you feel wholeheartedly?
Yes.
So that's going to be mom.
Yes.
And you knew, you just like,
oh my God, bro, I felt it.
Okay.
Bro, the whole reason that we're together is it can't be nothing but God, bro. Bro, let me explain to you how outrageous it is that we're together. When I met my wife at Hogan, I never talked to her. 2 years later, she's going to school in Maryville at Northwest. And you know how we used to make those trips out there to the college towns to go party, kick it, see what chicks we can see. You know how that was back in the day. I went out there one time, and I seen her at school. Forgot everything. Latched onto her. Tried to stay in a room, strike. Didn't win, bro. I was there. Got her number. We would text back and forth.
What strike mean? You mean you struck out?
Yeah, strike. I definitely struck out like 1,000 times. That only made the hunger stronger. You know?
The number?
Yeah, bro. I got the number, talked to her. She gave me a little play, but not for real. And I came on strong because remember, that's me. So I'm coming on ungodly strong, bro. Like, it was, looking back at it, it's like, no wonder she ran away from me, bro. Okay. She changed her number, bro. I won't say it's because it was me.
Oh, I thought it was
yeah. But like, she got another phone and changed her number, bro, and I didn't even hear from her. I'm sitting somewhere with my boy, we chilling. I get a call, right? From a number I don't know. That's when everybody had them bar style Nokias. It was her. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, oh, something. I'm just at the movies with my mama. Something we at War Parkway. I shot up there. Super thirsty, ungodly thirsty. Like, bro, shot up there. Talked to her, got her number. We start talking again. And then we got closer, and we started dating. But peep this, bro. She told me, bro. She pocket dialed me, bro, on accident. She didn't even try to call me to give me the new number.
That's crazy.
She didn't lock the keys on the Nokia.
It's crazy, but amazing.
I'm here off a pocket dial, my guy.
I should name the episode. Go ahead.
Bro, she pocket dialed me, bro, and I got her number. This shit is, it's crazy. So I go up there, I'm all thirsty, you know what I mean? I had my other stuff going on. I'm dropping everybody. Everybody can go. Clear the roster.
Before you even knew she would.
Bro, I'm not missing, bro. I was on the stuff that you be a creep now with the game I was on. Bro, we can't move like that no more. Mm-hmm. You creep. But like, we finally got together. We've been married for 14 years off of Pocket Down. I should have bought stock in somebody. T-Mobile. Something.
That's an amazing story.
Bro, off of Pocket Down. She literally told me, like, I ain't trying to call you. You was really kind of coming on too strong. Kind of scared me.
When did she tell you this? Later on?
Later on.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even know. I'm like, bro. I knew she couldn't forget her, bro. Bro, she had forgot me. Bro, I was, bro. Super creep, bro. Imagine that, bro. She tried to avoid me. Not necessarily avoid me, but not like looking for me. Calls me on accident. I shoot up right to where she is.
She called you on accident, right?
Yeah.
But what made you shoot to where she... I'm sure you didn't get the invite off an accident call.
I just said, I'm going to come up there and see you. I was just moving so fast.
And she said, cool, or you just hung up? I'm coming.
I don't even know.
Okay.
But either or is probably very applicable.
Aggressive.
Yes, I was ultra aggressive. And though I don't even know why I was that, like, it just was like a draw out of this world. Mm-hmm. And it can't be nothing but God and a blessing because, like, everything I was lacking, my wife had it. She came from a list of educators. She was very close with her family. That was very important to her. She was patient. Educators are patient. So she was patient enough with me through my learning process of trying to get over my past traumas. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no women gonna be as patient as my wife was, bro. Like, that's a hard thing to find. Like, I'd be like, ooh, I feel sorry for you.
I got it good. So
bro. Oh, yeah. But, like, bro, like, you gotta hold on to it.
I'm on that.
Bro, most important thing ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think everything about her was just so perfect to me. I knew she was gonna be a good mother. That was one of the most important things for me. Because I've seen situations where people weren't really in a position mentally to take care of their kids and they did the best that they could, but that's not always fair to the kids. You know what I mean? So I think we weirdly planned all our kids. We did all not to say you have to do that, but like I just didn't want to chance stuff, man, because I saw what leaving stuff to chance could be, you know what I mean? Like, and I was just so afraid I just moved differently. Mm-hmm. So that was tough for me, man. That was real tough for me. But Bam, Brian, I got a lot of respect for him now. Because he would always, like what he said there, he would always say stuff, but I just didn't take stuff seriously as I do now. Because he would say stuff like, bro, you need to do this because, like, it's not people in the city that could pull everybody together and open it. He's like, you should open a gym because, like, you get it. And I know that's true. I don't want to say I was fearful, but, like, I always did stuff to where I didn't want people to know I was trying hard. Mm-hmm. Like, I would do it, but I was like, I don't want people to know I'm really trying hard. Even when I competed, they would get mad. The judges would be like, will you just take this seriously? Mm-hmm. I'd be out there dancing and like showing up into the competitions late. Like they'd be like, if you would take this seriously, like you could be really good. But I was just doing it because I could do it. You know what I mean? I was. I wanted to learn how to build a physique more than I wanted to compete. And I only competed because I knew that I was obsessive enough to beat other people that couldn't get that obsessive. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like I knew I could go to a dark place because I had dark places to channel through. Okay. You know what I mean? But like, I don't even want to think about that.
We'll get back to, because I do want to get back to your wife, the family part of it, but this also, I mean, you heard y'all situation as a reference. You seen her, you felt like y'all was supposed to be together because you claimed her, right?
Wow.
You claimed her and this happened, y'all together. I don't believe us telling you, man, you should do this, you should do that, means you necessarily have to do that. But it does put light on your purpose no matter what stage that is.
Yeah.
So if you seen her and you knew y'all was supposed to be together, and it holds to be true so far,
Yeah.
you moved on that. Why are we not moving your purpose the same way? Because you know who you are. You know the effect you have on people. Why are you holding yourself back from the world?
I think I don't know if it's out of fear that I don't want to fuck it up. You know what I mean? I just don't want to. You know what I mean? And like,
Is it? Because I feel like I suffer from this too. I don't know if it's the same thing.
go ahead.
People believe in me so much, and I do have the belief in myself too, but I'm so scared that I will get there and not be who they said I was
Yeah.
to people. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck it up in that way.
100%. And then it's the once you get there, is it gonna be everything that you really wanted? When I won my pro card, and like it was a lot of people trying to go pro at that time. When I got home, my wife called me sitting at the bottom of the steps, and I was like, bro, did nothing happen? Like I won and nothing happened.
What you mean?
Nothing changed.
Gotcha.
But the beautiful part of being in a position where like when you win, you get to tell people that they can do it and that means a lot, but don't let that be it for you. If I wasn't a pro or if I didn't have a physique that people was like, that's dope, then people won't listen to me sometimes. It's unfortunate that we live in that society. So a lot of times I would chase these titles for once again to be able to put the bullies in their place. So when I speak, you can't discredit me. You can't discredit me. I did it. I watch people discredit people because they haven't done it or because they think they over them. I done it. I looked the part too. Now what? Shut up. Can't bully this man. Bro, I had a dude be like, oh yeah, we going to the gym. Any other pros gonna be there? Said that to somebody else. I heard that before I decided to compete on the pro level. It made me so mad. I was like, what? You cornball? You think that means something? Like you gonna talk to this dude like that? Like that's the type of stuff that would get me fired up to want to win. That, because I know once you get there, you can't tell me nothing now. And I know that energy bothers some people because they be like, I want to roast him, but I can't. You know what I mean? You can't do it. You know what I mean? So like, it's very important to remember that like, you can win and put yourself in a position to where like you can pick other people up if they're not on your level and tell them, oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, oh, bro, you ain't gotta have that to live. Like, you don't need this. Bro, I like having abs all the time and being fit because people think that that's the epitome of health. So they're like, I want to get on your level. Like, bro, this don't mean healthy. I'm just so embedded in this lifestyle that this comes natural for me, but this doesn't mean I'm on a higher level of health than you. I love telling people that. Like, that don't mean nothing. I can still be very unhealthy just because I'm lean. That don't mean I'm healthy. Not mentally, spiritually. I can be still living terrible. Your life can be light years better than mine. Even when people slide my DMs like, oh, bro, you've been married for 14 years. How do you do it? God. Oh, bro, how do you balance family and fitness? It's hard. People don't want to hear that. I love it when they ask me that. So, because I can tell them, bro, this is hard. You make it look so easy. You want me to post me crying on Instagram? You want to post me and my wife arguing on Instagram? My kids having a bad day? Those times happen, bro. That's real. Like, the shit happens and people don't realize that, bro. So, like, I love to represent. So when people ask, they're like, bro, how do you? And I tell them the truth. They don't want to hear it. I had a dude ask me in the gym, like, bro, how you look like that? I started talking to him about a diet and he walked away. He wanted me to tell him drugs. He wanted to hear an easy thing. People don't want to hear it. And I hold myself to such a high standard in the way that I look and the way that I carry myself, because I feel like as black men, there's so many situations to where like we get discredited because we make a mistake. Because we have an issue, we fall off, there's adultery, there's something, and they will discredit everything you've done. So I'm so scared, bro, to take on more than what I can because I see how people crucify people, bro. People can't, bro, could you imagine if I got caught cheating, what people would do to me? You family and muscle. You and your family posting funny videos, your kids are amazing. I would get crucified, bro. So like I always was so afraid and I protected myself from situations that could get me caught up because I know what this world would do to me, bro. It will take me for everything I hold sacred, bro. So that's why I move. That's why I see the potential and stuff, but like sometimes like the worldly success isn't worth me losing who I am. I'm so fucking happy, bro. And it ain't like I got a lot of money. There's a lot of things in my life that I can still fix and be better at, but bro, I am so happy. I feel guilty because I knew family was important to me. I love working out. Working out is free. A $30 membership, bro. Imagine being in love with something that's that cheap. And if gyms close, I can do push-ups and eat breadsticks and, you know what I mean, do whatever I got to do, some veggies. Like, bro, I love my life so much right now. And like, I'm happy that I can say that. And like, people can navigate and build their lives the way they want. Just stop looking at everybody else's plate. Don't look at their plate, bro. What do you want to eat? That's how I decided what I want to eat. Broken home, poverty, my family got divorced, abuse. I don't want none of that on my plate. This is what I want. Happy family, a loving home, a fit lifestyle. I put that on my plate and I didn't look at nobody else's. That's why when people saw me step away from different crowds and move differently, I knew that's what it took. We was still going out. D Stans and us would go out and they would have a bottle and I would be in the front of the Acura with a protein shake. I got a picture of it.
Shout out D Stans.
Shout out to D Stans. But like at the same time, they respected it too. Like I'll give them their props. Did nobody try to push me off my square because they saw that I was like, this is what I am. Like, and then I remember D Stans like, bro, he ain't gonna do it. Somebody tried to give me some weed, bro, leave him alone. He ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? I held things at a different standard to where like people would treat my children better than they treated theirs, bro. I got that a lot and that would blow my mind. People would stop cussing around my kids. They would straighten up because like I brought that type of atmosphere because once again, this was what was so important to me to where I made that a priority. And I fell off of that for a while and kind of let people kind of come into my circle and be weird, but like I'm back on that time. This is what we eating. We don't want none of that. You know what I mean, y'all? You know what I mean? Like, y'all now, we vegans over here. Like, not, per se, like, no beef in here. And like, if you bringing beef, you can't even come in, bro. That ain't on my plate, bro. And my wife is on that same time. But I gotta really give her props for putting me on that because, bro, I was out here really mad. I had some anger issues. I watched my mom date crackhead after fucking crackhead after fucking crackhead. I'm fighting these niggas, bro. I'm going to fucking school with no clothes and thrift store shit. So now I gotta talk shit to get people off my back. My dad sending a check, but that ain't enough. My mom's working, doing all these hours, and she's trying to fix people because she's broken. I couldn't bro, it's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, I hated people, bro. I saw the dark side of everybody, and I was very angry. Extremely angry, bro. Like, people don't know how mad I used to be, but I played it off. And like every now and then, some people can speak on how they saw it, and they will be like, bro, who is this? Who is like, what? But I was just so mad inside. I was mad at a lot of people, man. I was mad at my dad. You know what I mean? Because, like, I was in Kansas City. Bro, I'm 14, 15 years old, bro. Like, where is everybody at? Why am I going through this? Why am I living in poverty? I got whole families everywhere. Like, you got a kid. How would you feel if you was in another state and your son was in a shelter?
That's a real question.
I can't fathom that now as an adult. I couldn't even fathom my son going to Southeast watching cars get set on fire and shit. I would fucking go lose my mind. Why was I in that situation? You know what I mean? And I used to blame them, and like, I'm past that now, but like, I was mad, bro. I was pissed because I was aware of the situation that I was in, and I was pissed. So I would get so mad to where I would be like, this is never happening to me again. And that's why I would clash with so many men. You know what I mean? I would watch my mom meet these bums and be trying to make them husbands. And they all have, I'm like, Mama, are you just walking in the crack house picking niggas out? 3 crackheads? How is that even possible? Like, what's broken in her to where she's got to shift? Like, bro, I'm fighting all of these dudes. Like, I'm 15, 16 fighting grown men because I see their bums and they're in this little space that we have. And like, why are you putting the energy in these people? Shit it's hurtful, bro. And then I gotta go to school with this, bro. And then I gotta come home to these situations. And like, people see it now and they don't understand, bro. Like, you don't know what people are really dealing with, bro. Like, I was dealing with a lot. And you gotta think, I'm also dealing with survivor's guilt because I get to the point to where I bought a house at 23. I got married. Me and my wife is settled. Nobody in my family is making moves like this. So you can understand that where now I'm just like kind of annoying to my family because like I'm moving on another wavelength. And now I got that you think you better than you type of vibe. You know what I mean? But like, it's like, that bothered me, but I just kept moving. But it was hard, bro, because I still had a lot of trash qualities. I would spaz out. I was very emotional because I watched my mom spaz out. She would just flip off the handle and cut an extension cord. Or, you know what I mean? And try to hit people with, like, you know what I mean? It was just like a lot of traumatic stuff. I watched my grandma, beat the shit out of everybody and, and want to fight and curse and just make you feel like you were less than. I watched all of that. And then when I come to the hood, since I was around the most violent people, I would gravitate towards, I saw them hog people out. I saw it, bro. There's so many stories that I have to where it's like, I shouldn't have experienced that as a child, bro. This is a funny story. I went to school I went to prom. I took a girl to prom when I went to Hogan in a Fiend rental. That's wild. Like, I literally went to somebody and said, hey, can you give me a rental car? And this is a funny story. Remember when Hidden Valley was kind of cracking? Apartments on Bannister?
Oh, yeah.
I went to somebody and I was like, hey, bro, I need to get the car from the smoker. I need to borrow the car from the smoker. Can you get it for me? And I guess somebody else had rented it. But like I said, I was around the biggest at the time. So my homie was like, he was the one that was kind of like running Hidden Valley. You know what I mean? So he told me like, I'll get it. And these little cats had it. He got the car. They whooped the smoker right there because they was like, we supposed to have it for a whole day. So I'm pulling off in this Mitsubishi Galant, looking in the rearview mirror. They stomping this smoker out. I'm taking it to the car wash on Warnell to get it cleaned out to go to the prom, man. Like, why are we living this lifestyle? Like, why am I even around this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
you were used to it.
but
That's what you came from.
So-
you came from that type of violence. So it's only natural that you weren't naturally violent, but you grew around violence. So it's natural that you gravitate towards violence. You didn't like the violence, so you became the one who bullied the bullies too. That's what it sounds like to me. And that's why you say, why I'm around these killers, why I'm around, you're used to it.
it just don't even make sense because, like, I used to ask myself, like, I know I'm not that person, but, like, am I? Then that started scaring me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, birds of a feather. You know what I mean? So then that started bothering me. You know what I mean? And then, like, every time a situation would happen, I would immediately think of violence, which was also weird. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I remember watching my sister being like over the house at home, and like this dude was over trying to talk to my sister, and like somebody else to talk to my sister came over, and like literally the dude ran out the house and he like shooting the dude off the porch. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, okay, like, this is the type of time that we on, and like that type of stuff. I was always in the middle of some bullshit, bro. Just like the craziest shit, man. Like majority of the stuff that was happening in the city, I wasn't related to none of these people. How am I always in the middle of this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a foreigner, kind of, you know what I mean? I'm not even from here. You know what I mean? Like, it was just I dealt with so much bullshit, man. Like, that's why I am the way I am, bro. Like, I'm not sacrificing my life for none of that shit, bro. For nobody, bro.
You know, it's different because you being so familiar with that lifestyle and actually being in that type of lifestyle that you don't come in, you don't be that lifestyle. You didn't become the monster. Like a lot of us get into that. We're not really naturally that. We surround ourselves by that. We're not really natural that, but we get swallowed by that or engulfed by that to the point we become that.
Yeah.
And then you look back like, how the fuck did I become this?
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you didn't become that monster that you were around.
Yeah.
But there had to be something that kept you from not fully going down. I know you got the picture of what you want, but it's not always that we are able to get that picture because you always putting these things in place that like, this is why I'm doing this for. But all this other shit that surrounds me could take me away from this type shit. And this is where you feel like you're getting the love from too, these monsters that surround you. Not to disrespect anybody.
No, I get it.
So how do you not just get totally sunk in? Because as much as you want the family life, this is family right now who's around you.
I just think it was always, for once, I had a sense of awareness. It couldn't be none but God. You know what I mean? There was some stuff that I'm meant to do, and like no matter what, I would see situations, and like right when it was time for me to be like, I would always get these feelings like it's time to get away, and I would get away. You know what I mean? And like, I had a high sense of awareness, but I think another point of it too, it was a blessing that like my dad was in the Navy. So we did travel. So I did see other stuff. It was a blessing that I was here and I didn't have family because I wasn't trying to live up to like cousins and big cousins, and I didn't have a brother that like, I'm a gangbang, and you know what I mean? Like, crip till I die because of my family, or y'all killed this person, so I hate you forever. There was a lot of people that there were situations that were very hard for people to let go because really loved ones was involved, but I didn't have that too. I never had that tie-in to where like, oh man, they did this to this person. Like I didn't have that. I didn't have a lot of loyalty stapled in from decades of people. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have that here. So it was a little bit easier for me to gravitate away because I wasn't like born in the blood with bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to. I thought it was stupid that people claimed blocks when I got here. It's like, what? Blocks? Like that never registered to me, but I understand because your grandma, your auntie lived there. I get that, but to me, that didn't make sense. I was always like, 30, like, how can you claim a block? Like this is crazy. Like that didn't make sense to me at all. So I think that was something that kind of helped me since I really wasn't tied in. I didn't really have to deal with that as much. And then I also enjoyed once again that people didn't really know who I am because I don't like people having stuff on me. So I always carried myself in a way that was goofy, silly, because that's who I like being. But I also knew I could say whatever I want to because sometimes people thought I was joking.
Serious.
I'll be dead ass serious. Or I could say it in such a manner to where like it might hit you later on once you got home. Like, oh shit, he was being for real. You know what I mean? But like I always knew how to play off stuff and move in a situation where like I just didn't want to get hurt anymore either. So I wouldn't really let people know who I really, really was. So I would be in all these groups and people would be like, what is he doing here? Or people would think of me a certain way. And like I didn't look like what I had been through, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense.
And I knew it, you know what I mean? Like even when like I would go places or I would work places and people would be like, oh, such and such, and I would be out somewhere, people like, oh, where are you from? And I would tell people what school I went to and like who I knew, and they'd be like blown away, like, oh yeah. But like I didn't think that was cool either. You know what I mean? Like, not really. Like I didn't glorify it. You know what I mean? Like I never like was like, oh yeah, I know this person. Like it just was normal to me. That same shit happened when I switched into any genre. Even when I got into the fitness thing, my best friend now is the dopest physique to ever come out of Kansas City.
Give him a shout out.
AJ Ellison.
He's fire.
He's literally the dopest fitness person. And people would be like, man, how you cool with him or you be jeffing? Like, what's crazy is he's just like me. Same type of traumas, same type of situations. We're the same type of person. So when we blinked up, I remember when I met him, I was going out to the Arnold Classics. This is wild too. And I was meeting up, and I respected AJ because he was the first person I saw that was like unbelievable. Like people really look like this. I saw him in person.
I seen him.
I went to go buy some equipment somewhere, and he was working out at a gym, and I was like, whoa. So when I went to the Arnold Classic to these fitness shows and these conventions, I would see him, and he would be like, I saw him one year, and then the next year I saw him, and he would be like, bro, like, we're from the same state. Let's link up. And I'm like, is he serious?
Is that when you ran into CT Fletcher?
All them, yeah. I was like, he can't be serious. That's why I see same state. Like, I thought he was playing. And then like when I won my pro card, he had a person that was in the show that I ended up, I don't know if I beat him, but like I guess so. You know what I mean? And then like he saw me again and he commented and he was like, dope physique, bro. Congratulations. And I'm like, oh, this is getting real. But like, and then once he sent me that, like I messaged him like, hey bro, let's go get a workout in. I finally was like, all right. And he was like, cool. Hung out with that dude, never separated him from him since.
Come on. You ain't right, bro. Come on. You trash. He's dirty. He's so dirty. Get up, Onyx. Don't act like you dizzy, Onyx. Get up, man. You ain't right.
You know what I mean? But I think, I say that to say like, you have to get in a position to be and build yourself up so those opportunities can happen. I'm a firm believer. Your integrity is going to get you into places that money or nothing else is going to get you in. That's how you win. All off integrity. All off of who you really are. All the winners can see it. The other winners can see winners. It doesn't even have to be the same game y'all playing. If you're winning in family life, the businessman can see that. He wants it too. Y'all gonna gravitate towards each other.
Yeah.
Winners on any level gravitate towards each other. It don't have to be just money. It can be sports. That's why sports dudes and rappers hang out together. It ain't because they all got money. It's because they're all winners. They all got that drive. And other people can see that in you. And you can, if you got that integrity and that drive, and you set up those habits and that lifestyle, people gonna respect it. And I think that was something that actually got me into a lot of doors and around people like that because they can see it. You know what I mean? They can see it. So AJ is a super dope person. And like, I remember meeting him and I'm like, he's really just a regular dude, but like he had a championship level drive. Like, he just was a winner, and he just had a lot of mean hate in him too, because he dealt with some abusive stuff from his family. He went through the same similar stuff. So like, I'm starting to see like people have these outlets, and like you get to know people. Like everybody has some problems, you know what I mean? And like once we all link up and realize that we're all flawed and we give each other that grace, we can do greatness. I just wish it could happen sooner. You know what I mean? Like when we all young Thundercats and got that energy, it needs to happen sooner. But we can teach the younger generation to do that. You know what I mean? Like come together and use that young energy to be great because you can do it.
You're still young enough to do it.
I know. But the discipline is needed, man. People have to be disciplined. I thought you were saying 9 o'clock to shoot this podcast at night. You were here 9 o'clock early. That takes discipline. You know what I mean? To get up here and be setting this up, bro. To be calling people. People might flake. You know what I mean? That takes discipline. You serious. You just hoping other people are serious too. You out here taking chances. You shooting shots. Most people won't shoot shots.
Me, I do now, but yeah, I suffer from that. Yeah.
But it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So like being able to gravitate towards people is good, but make sure that your integrity is up to par so you don't fumble that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people get into places because they're acting a certain way, and then the real people gonna see, you know when people are full of shit. You're like, oh man, this dude's full of shit. Oh, dang, what are we gonna do about this? Am I gonna deal with it? Am I gonna avoid them? A lot of professional people that are winners, they don't have time to deal with bullshit. So a lot of times you only got one shot. If I show up, I was always that person to where like, if I show up for the interview, I'm getting the job. You know what I mean? Like, I am who if I filled out the application and I show up, I'm getting hired. Because I've done the work and I am who I put on that paper. People gotta be who they are, for real, and who they put on that paper. We ain't out here. I'm not capping. Like, if I show up, I'm going to over-deliver. Like, oh, you can do that too? Like, I'm getting hired. I go on interviews sometime, bro, just for practice. I started doing that. I knew I didn't want the job. I was like, man, I ain't been in an interview in a while. I'll just go. Let me make sure I can brush up on my skills. It's wild, bro. Like, I'm glad you're doing this.
All that you keep saying things from your wife. You got your wife.
Yeah.
I go and get an interview knowing I can do it. When I do something, I'm fully in there. I overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
But you brought up money when we were talking about purpose, saying it ain't about the money, da-da-da. Which I don't believe it's about the money either.
Need it, but that's not it. It's not all of it.
necessity.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still here as to, because you, like I said, you know who you are. You just further solidifying that by saying, I know once I do this, I get this, I get that. You brought up money. Nobody's talking about money. I'm talking about the gift you're supposed to give to, and you are giving that to
I understand.
in certain ways. Like you don't have to post your family and stuff and lead by show the example or whatever. I'm talking about the things you know that you got in you that you are holding back, and we can't talk about worried about people fucking your life up for you because semen.
Yeah.
You said semen.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can fuck up for you.
Yeah.
You can remove yourself from any situation you feel is going not how you want to. So you're saying these things, but semen sticks with me. So it further let me know there's really no, if I'm being totally real, which I am going to be, there's no excuse.
There is no excuse.
You just, the real excuse is you.
Yeah. I think you're 100% spot on. But I think with me, it's like, I know this is who I am. I'm settled in this. But like, I was always afraid that people would play dirty though too, in a way.
But you know how to play dirty.
I do,
And
but
come out clean.
I'm finally in a place to where, even though I knew who I am and I settled in who I am, and I know nobody can take that, I also know who I am too.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
No. I got
You
it.
know what I mean? Like, I also know who I am.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, I think that other part of me scared me because I also knew that other part of me could still ruin it for me.
I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of me.
For sure I am.
Got it.
I'm terrified of me sometimes.
Got it. Only you know that in a demon, like, and what it can do.
Terrified. And I know I'm human. I could get hurt.
Let me ask you something. Who wins? The God in you or the demon in you? The demon is hard to fight, but you build for that fight.
Yeah.
If you're scared away by this demon, you're scared of the test.
Yeah.
I have to speak through me, Holy Spirit. We all fighting demons, bro.
Facts.
I'm fighting certain demons every day that I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna look the lion in his face.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
I don't wanna go there, but let me challenge myself. And every time I do it, I'm telling you, bro, it's so like, I don't know if this is right, exhilarating. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, I really fucking did that.
Yep.
I'm proud of myself. But as you do it, make sure you pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Because you need to pat yourself on the back in order for you not to get discouraged when something goes wrong while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I feel it's very important to fight that demon. We all got demons. Jesus, that cross is meant for you to carry. This is your cross you're supposed to carry.
Yeah.
This is the beating you're supposed to take. If you ask me, just you.
I don't disagree.
This is the beat. You built for the whipping. You built for the scar. Challenge yourself not to have to get super witty with somebody. Sometimes it's just like, you know what, I'm talking to Bam. I know what I'm capable of. You see why he talks such at a peaceful level? I know what I'm capable of. I know where I can go.
Yeah.
But do you know how to fight that demon?
That was a problem I had.
Fight.
Because I feel like I would try to hold so much of it in to where you just got to act out. And like that never ends well. And I think that was why I love fitness so much too, because I had full control of it. I got full control over the weights and like how I look and what I eat. Like that's all me. Can't nobody stop that. You know what I mean? They
You can
can't.
get too heavy and fall on you. How do you control that heaviness?
You can judge it. Like I was so in tune with myself to where like I moved at my own pace to grow how I needed to grow. And I think that's why I like fitness so much, because I knew how to grow at my own pace. And with some other stuff, business, it can get chaotic. Other people are mixed in. I got other people's emotions in business. I got other stuff that like I can't control them. And that used to worry me, you know what I mean? And then I think I was a people person per se, but then like I still had a lot of judging in me.
Before you get too far off, because you reference fitness, I seen you on a video say I'm going to hit 315.
Yeah.
One time,
Yeah.
you took a risk and hit it twice.
Yeah.
You get where I'm going here?
Yeah.
As heavy as that could have been, you still pushed through it.
I did.
You ain't got no excuses. You just doing what you want to do.
Comfortable.
And you should.
But but like, gotta get uncomfortable. And that I do agree with.
Comfortable being uncomfortable.
You have to.
Because you do it in fit. You keep referencing fitness. I was meant to see that video.
Yeah.
Because you was going to see. It's comfortable. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just a walking contradiction sometimes too.
We all are. We all are.
But you're 100% right. You do have to take those chances. And I'm just glad that I'm really happy that my wife put up with me for as broken as I am, bro. God, I feel, oh my God. I want to win for her.
I swear I'm on that type of time.
Damn.
For my family, but for the shit my wife has.
She deserves so much, bro. Like, people be like, oh, bro, you this, and this, bro. I would be trash if it wasn't for my wife, bro. You gotta think, when I was doing all those competitions and traveling, bro, who you think was holding it down, bro?
Is she holding the camera when you on the skateboard and all that, or is that your kid?
Either her or my kids. But like, bro, like, even that, man, like, that stuff wasn't cheap. So for me to be investing, like, she had to let me maneuver that. Like, she always, the beautiful thing about my wife, and once again, I'm being serious. This is something that I was very aware of with choosing a mate, is like, I have to be with somebody that's also gonna let me be me. My wife really lets me be me. But I had a basement full of gym equipment.
Yeah.
Who's dealing with that? I drive across the country to buy workout equipment.
But she gets involved too.
She does. But she lets me be that person. Bro, it's crazy. Like, she lets me be that person. She trusts me to go out and shoot videos in the middle of the night when I was out there doing that. Bro, my wife never complained. Until I would, like, take it to a point to where, like, I would just be, like, getting too comfortable. Then she'd reel me back in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wait a minute. You got to take care of home. But she really let me be me. That is so important to me. But, like, I knew she was that type of person, too. She never once was like tried to make me be somebody else. She wanted me to be a better version. She wasn't gonna let me be toxic like I was. She would tell me like, hey, the way you acting, this isn't normal. Like, that ain't cool. Bro, when I had kids, I remember my wife was like, oh, when we have our baby, you're gonna be like telling them you love them and stuff. I was like, tell them I love them? That's weird. Like, I couldn't imagine back then hugging and kissing on my kids.
Why was that weird?
Not used to it. I don't remember playing with my mom and dad. I don't remember it. I can't remember us ever playing, or don't remember it. Zero. None of it. Probably didn't happen then, but I don't remember it. And that's wild to me, man. Like, I played with my kids and I spend so much time with my family now, like, I don't remember it. Like, bro, I don't think it happened. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, my kids living like that. Like, God, they did stuff for me. I asked for certain stuff for Christmas. My mom and dad, you know, sometimes they made it happen. You know what I mean? But, like, so, like, I was exposed to, like, my parents being together, and then they got divorced, and I think that's when it really went downhill. You know what I mean? Like, the separation was like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? So, like, I kind of got to see a little bit of it, you know what I mean, of the togetherness and marriage. And then, like, before I moved to Kansas City, that's when it just went to shit. Pure shit. So I went from, like, kind of knowing, abusive, escape, to total absolute poverty. From, like, we were broke, we didn't really have a lot, but it went to, like, nothing. Like other than like what we had in our car, bro, that's it. Couldn't imagine putting my kids through that. I mean, shout out to my mom, bro. Like being a parent now, like I see, I see that stuff is tough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She was dealing with her stuff. And even my dad, man, like as we talk more, I see how he was brought up. I see what he went through. You know what I mean? I can see it now. Like, bro, they was really dealing with some demons too. And I'm not mad no more. Because I was mad.
That's because you probably seek to understand. Like, to understand people versus blaming them after a while.
And nobody was talking to me. Nobody explained to me why they were getting divorced. Nobody acknowledged me as a child.
We were never taught to talk about that type of
None
stuff.
of it, bro.
So they don't know to talk. You don't understand what I'm going through.
Which is wild, but like, could you imagine now something chaos happening and you know your kids know and you're just acting like they don't exist to even help them through that situation?
Especially now.
Like, I couldn't fathom it. Like, yeah, me and your mom is splitting up. We getting divorced. You see it happening. We're mad. We hate each other. And nobody has a conversation with you. Like, that's crazy to me. So, man, I'm just very blessed to be where I am and like just to have some healing. You know what I mean?
It's funny you brought up your comedic ways earlier or whatever, because I've always looked at you as a person who could just. I look at Mike Epps. I see he can walk through the hood or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, it's weird to touch Mike Epps. Why would you? And I believe he can fight. It's weird to want to like. I think Kevin Hart can go anywhere and nobody would want to do any type of harm to him. That's how I always looked at you. Like, why would you want to do? If I heard somebody did some type of harm to you, it's like, but why though? What could he have possibly did? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have these examples. So the people who have dealt with you have this example of. He's funny, he's fun to be around, he's a good guy. We see it online too, like I was saying earlier. But we always see the smile, we always see the fun and all of that. We see a powerful woman right next to you too, as you have been bringing up your wife and your kids. You talk about your demons and all of that stuff. She's the one who helped you through a lot of that stuff, right?
Oh, 100%.
Right.
I would have left me.
Listen. This is how I always humble myself, and I'm gonna go back where I was going. I always look at myself every day and be like, and once I see my wife smile about something or just laugh or just even want to still have sex with me, you still fuck with me like that?
Bro, crazy.
This is how I keep myself humble. Like, to want to be around somebody, and we've been married 8 years now, still, that's one attitude to be around, one type of person. Like, we get bored with the same workout. Yeah. We get bored with the same food every day. How much would we get bored with the same human? And for you to want to still, and it's credit to me too for whatever I'm doing.
100%.
But I keep myself humble like that. So, but going back to your wife, and you keeping all that stuff inside of you, you know what I'm saying? Can you remember the first time because I know the first time you expressed yourself to her really, knowing that she was like a best friend or like an understanding person, with all that you was holding in, you had to like break out in tears.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like, can you remember what that conversation was like? If you care to share.
There was a few situations that I could tell she would look at me and like I would respond to something and she would be like, where is this coming from? And I took her back to West Memphis and she kind of got to see, because my grandma was still alive, she got to meet her and to see like where I grew up and like see, and I think she just kind of understood. And then I would just kind of like explain to her just some of the stuff I went through, and she could just see it. You know what I mean? And my wife is just an extremely strong person because she lost both of her parents.
That's my wife. Go ahead.
So you know what I mean then.
Yes.
So like, you know what I mean? So like she ain't got, and that was at like an early age before she was, when I met my wife, her mom was still alive and her mom passed before we got married.
My wife was the year right before we got married. Her mom is her best friend.
Same.
And she lost her mom and her dad 6 months apart.
Yeah.
6 months apart.
So you already know.
That's a different kind of monster to deal with.
It
Not
is.
saying she was a bad person.
No.
Just like as a person who didn't go through that and wanting to be supportive, you don't know how to be. You don't know if you're doing enough. But go ahead with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like she was just such a strong individual, and like when her mom died, that was the first time I saw my wife actually cry. Period. So I'm like, and like she cried. I'm like, whoa, that's wild. My wife, and like I was still very toxic. So like I was the type of person like I would try to push her buttons, and I could never get my wife to that level of emotion to where I could hurt her feelings enough to make her cry. She'd get mad. That just wasn't her. You know,
she was
was
trying to push her button.
Oh yeah.
After her.
No, not after that, but just period.
Okay,
Before then.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like I was the give me an inch, I'll take a mile type of person. You know what I mean? Like I still had a lot of that in me. To where like, not to say we try to break people, but we want to see their breaking point, and that's so toxic. But we want to see what we were dealing with. You know what I mean? Like it's so, saying that out loud sounds so awful.
But we need to hear it.
But that's just who I was. You know what I mean? And like, if she wasn't that type of strong individual to where like she didn't have time, and then I realized like my wife ain't about the games, and if I don't get it together, she will leave. She ain't sticking around for this. You know what I mean? Like she ain't playing. She gonna be out of here. And I knew my wife would be an amazing mother. So here I am knowing what I really, really wanted, and this is the person that's gonna give it to me. So I always like, I gotta straighten up. You know what I mean? I'm straightening up. I was always trying to be better. A lot of it was because of her. Because I didn't want to lose her. This was the key. You know what I mean? Like, if I lose the key, how am I going to get in here? I know I don't like when people are like, she completes me, she makes me. But like, bro, you can't make a pizza without the crust. That was the freaking crust. If I lost my wife, bro, what am I going to do? And I knew that, bro. So like, whenever I would get off kilter, I would be like, I'm going to lose. Like, big loss. I tell my wife now, like, you could have been with it. You know, you had the pick of the litter. Like, you could have.
Nice looking woman.
Yeah, you could have did it. Like, I mean, shout out to me, but like, you know, but like, you could have done it. Like, whoo-wee. Like, but then you got to pat yourself on the back too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Doing the work.
oh man, we slayed dragons. What is that? Like, bro, like, if you got a good woman, you got to look at also, like, there's something there. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't falling for anything. You know what I mean? But, like, I always knew, like, I can't drop this ball. I can't do it. So whenever I got a little off course, I come back around.
So you decided to have a real conversation with her.
I did.
Because all of that can't come without a real conversation. You took her to Memphis. She seen what
She saw I was from. I told her about any abusive past. Told her about how my family separated. I told her about how I was living when I was here. And like, she accepted all of it. And my wife, no matter how, I was always afraid, and I thought the worst out of everything. I look at the worst possible outcome of everything. And my wife always looked at the bright side of everything. Bro, you could break your leg and be like, well, at least you got the other one. And I'd be like, why are you looking at stuff so positive? Like, I'd freak out because once again, I was emotionally unstable. I couldn't handle too much emotion. To this day, I don't like scary movies, not because I'm scared. I just don't want them playing with my emotions. I don't want to watch stuff that plays with my emotions. Like, I don't want to feel like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to watch things that pull me and do that to me. I don't like that fake. I don't like that. That ain't entertaining to me. Like, people that watch stuff because it like gets them to feel a certain way. I don't want to play that game. I don't want to look at something that's gross. I don't want to look at people being murdered. I don't like that emotion. I don't want to play that game. Like, I don't get off on that. Like, that ain't exciting to me. You know what I mean? You know how some people like, oh, bro, some people love the hood and love all that stuff because it's exciting. Shit's not exciting to me. That ain't a game. I don't want to be around that shit no more. I don't want no parts of that shit. I'm not glorifying that shit. I don't want none of it, bro. That shit's trash, bro. Mark got killed around the corner from my house at Domino's, bro. The last time I saw GT was at Sunfresh in the same place that Mark got, bro. I saw him, he's like, bro, I might do a competition, I'm gonna have to holler at you. That was the last time I saw him. So Mark and him both got killed in the same complex. I live 3 blocks from there. Yeah, bro. That was the last place. And so when he got killed, I was just really messed. Then I really became a hermit crab. And then Mark got killed like right afterwards in the same, like not the same, but that was the last place I saw him. And then Mark got killed in that same area. And like, it bothered me so much. Those two situations, somebody wanted me to film something down on Vine where that shit happened. And I told him no. I wouldn't go on Vine anymore. Like, I wouldn't go. I was like, I won't go. And it was somebody I was close to, and I didn't even tell them. I didn't want to even explain to them why. And they were like mad at me over it. And I recently told them, like, man, it was just too much going on. I explained it to them, like, I just didn't want none of that energy. I couldn't handle that as a person because I'm trying to hold this together and my family. So like, I didn't want to I couldn't emotionally deal with none of that because like I was at capacity because I didn't learn how to navigate and hold all that together. And I was afraid that I couldn't. So I just wouldn't even deal with it. I'd be like, I'm out. So a lot of times y'all would see me and I would just kind of fall off the face of the map. It was because I was just protecting myself. My whole basement is a protection. All the camera stuff and the tripods and learning how to film myself was a protection. So I didn't ever have to deal with other people. I did it all myself. That hurt me, you know what I mean? Because we need each other. But like that was still out of protection of myself. But I stayed up all night to learn how to use them cameras. Mm-hmm. I would edit y'all stuff and have it back the next day. And like now you understand like how long I would go home and sit there for 9 hours just so I could have y'all surprised when y'all woke up.
Appreciate you.
You're so silly. But people would be like, what the hell, bro? How you edit that fast? And I would be like, because I would just sit there until I got it done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want none of like, bro, when I drive through the city now, it does kind of hurt me because it's just so much negative energy. And I live in the city still. I'm tucked off in the cul-de-sac, but I'm still in 64130. You know where I live at. Like I'm not far from, I'm definitely tucked off, but like, I still live there.
Sign your phone number, go ahead.
Bro, I'm still there. You know what I mean? But like, I'm still there. I got blessed, by the way. Cause you know what I mean? Cause like I bought my house before stuff is wild now. I don't know how y'all buying houses. Yeah, definitely big come up to me. I bought my house during the crash, so cha-ching. Now I was just like equity. But like I drive through the city and like I see why people move away. I do. I see why it's hard for people to come back. Because if you're not emotionally fixed, it's hard to handle those vibes. You can't avoid it. When I go to the Sunfresh by my house, bro, I'm so aware that like I'll be looking at people and you can just feel problems. If you want them, you can get them. If you want to stare at somebody, you can get the smoke. You know what I mean? But it's always there, and that bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, You can ride around and you pull up the next somebody, you see what energy they on, bro. Based on what they listening to. We can't turn that off. And I love that type of music and energy. We all loved it. We lived in the midst of some crazy eras. The Fat Tone, all that, bro. We was in the middle of that, bro. The Mac Dre era, when people start popping pills, bro. That was crazy. Bro, every party we went to, they were shooting after the party. It was normal for people to shoot at a party. For people to start shooting at the gas station. That was our normal, bro. Huh? Don't bother you. Like, bro, we thought it was, bro, we used to go to Sunset Inn on 40 Highway. I remember they started shooting, bro. Me and my bro under the car laughing. We're laughing. And we come right back the next weekend. We drive out to Lawrence, somebody gets shot. We come right back out there. Bro, I was there. I was there. Like, why am I here? But like, that was so normal for us. We all got PTSD, bro. No way we survived through that. And then you were in the rap game, so you really knew all the business. You knew all of it. And it was kind of entertaining to us, bro. We knew who was beefing, who was doing what. They would rap about it. We'd be at the studio, they'd be walking out. Y'all going in the rap, I'm coming in with the camera, we like that such and such. Crazy. Kind of wild, bro. We are very blessed to be here.
I'm very blessed to be even on the path that I'm on, because the people that I was around, like, not to say I was around monsters, because I don't think none of us are monsters naturally, just born monsters. Just the people, a lot of the people that I've been around and stuff were into crazy. I'm just saying, but all in all.
I mean, but once again, this goes back to where I'm on the outside looking in, because I wasn't from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Sometimes these are y'all people.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to see our peoples as monsters.
What I meant was we're not naturally monsters.
Okay.
So I get to see them for. See, I've always been the type of person to get to see people for
Who they really are. Yeah.
So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They are. But yeah, the people that I was around, for me not to totally take all the way into it, even do it my own way. I may have did some of the same things, but not the way they've done it or whatever. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to never see.
Want me to tell you what something crazy is? I'm very, very good at reading people. I can never read you. I never really knew who you were. I think that bothered me a little bit too.
Talk to me.
I never knew who you were. I could pick everybody apart. I could usually see what people are about, because people talk a lot. You would talk, but like not really. You know what I mean? You would say stuff, but like not really. People are telling themselves, bro. Like, I'd be waiting, like, who is he for real? Is it all cap? Like, you know what I mean? I never could really read you though.
It's 2 episodes in a row. But I'm sorry.
Well, somebody else told you that?
Bam didn't say that so much, but he was like, I've always been interested in what type of person.
Couldn't tell.
But he said over time, like when we went to Miami together, he started like really seeing it even more now.
Yeah, I can see it more now.
Yeah.
But like, I really couldn't tell. And I think that was always my path. I wanted to be like, let's see who we working with. Who is this person? And like, I would be so quick to judge, because that's where some of the wittiness comes from. If I can clap back or say something real funny or something fast, it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, you always trying to look at the play. I couldn't read you. I never really could. Like, even now, like, I kind of know a little bit more, but like, when I think about you then, I can think of how I saw everybody, but I can't put you in a box, which is actually wild. Other than you had bars, which I
appreciate that.
I always liked it too, because like, you rap so much differently than everybody else, and I know how risky it is to be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I always appreciated that. And it would be weird, because I remember when I would say something, you really kind of didn't believe it. Like, I could tell you like, whatever. I'm like, no, tight.
His defense too.
Yeah. You don't want to take it. We'd be like, oh bro, you're great. No, I don't want that.
Yo, it's like you hit me, because it's funny you say that, because I'm getting it, and I be telling these people, when I say stuff to people, I be talking to myself too. Because I be telling them like, yo, when people say something about you, a lot of the times, most of the time it's true when a lot of people say it, you just not accepting of it. And my defense was, just in case y'all playing with me and it's not really that or whatever, so my feelings won't get hurt, like, nah, bro, nah. I say the more you say that to yourself, the more you start to believe it.
Yeah.
The more you say, nah, I'm not that, the more you start to move like that and believe. So now I'm telling myself, no, I'm him.
You are.
And I kind of learned that from D. Moore, kind of sparked that in me even more. I was kind of on that path, but talking to D. Moore, he told me, and I've said this multiple episodes, people probably tired of hearing it, everything I do is cool. He said that about himself. His mama told him that. Everything I do is cool.
So D. Moore's mom told him that?
Told him that because he said, I know I don't do no like shit to hurt people and stuff like that. So everything, she was just telling me, you such a cool person.
It's funny because like, I know D. Moore. I don't know him like personally.
I don't know him like that either.
But like he has some qualities that you can tell that are natural that I don't have. Like D. Moore just has swag.
Peace, confidence.
I don't have that. Like, I'm gonna have to pay somebody to give me some swag as far as like clothing and how I carry myself. Like, D. Moore is a dude that can walk in a thrift store and come out swagged out.
But you do have swag, and this is not no in front of you type of shit.
Yeah.
Cause it amazes me how you can be you. You don't care about. You've been around all of us, all the type of people, but that culture doesn't sit on you.
It doesn't.
What you put out there is so fucking cool because it's you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I take from you.
Let me tell you what's crazy though, and this is so wild, bro. Whenever I make content or I do stuff, it's mainly for me too. Like, so like if I make a video or I do something, bro, I be sitting back watching it myself, enjoying it. I don't even want to say it.
Stuff right there.
I be like, this shit's tight. Bro, but like, I don't like to where like I say that because like, I don't care if you think it's tight. But I be like, this shit tight, bro. Look at me and the kids, like we kicking it. Like,
that's a whole different thing, though, because all of us don't have that. That swag you're talking about, Jesus, that you got that, and even saying this shit is tight.
I like it.
How do you think about when he be putting on his shit, or how
he be so clean? I'll see him and be like, cool, but like this is crazy. Like, and then I don't know. D. Moore seems like he's been through a lot, I'm sure.
Yes.
But he seems like he's an anomaly in the sense to where like D. Moore seems like a hood dude.
You about to hit it.
That can like still be hood and accept it in a different lane. Like, bro, he's a hood fitness dude.
Hood fitness loving.
Crazy.
Dudes love, bro.
But like
power.
We need people to still be themselves even when they're in another genre. Like, he's who he is at all times. He brings all his people out to the shows. Mm-hmm. He be so emotional. I saw some clips. That's what I thought.
Yeah. He's dancing on stage.
But he's street though. But he still is that confident. And I know how that is hard to do, but that shows he's got a lot of loving people around him too. Because when I first got into fitness, like, bro, they know people called it whack, or they said it was gay, like, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I heard it all.
Wearing panties on stage.
Bro, I heard it all. Bro, when I first transitioned into fitness and I started working out and I started wearing fitted clothes and I went back to the hood, I didn't even realize they were making fun of me until I left. Till like later on, like it's like I had on like a V-neck shirt, right? V-neck kind of fitted shirt, trying to show off the chest gains, and they were like talking about like, oh, you heard their new Trey songs? Talking to each other and like making like R&B jokes, and I didn't even realize it until I left. And I just got infuriated, bro.
You in the car and realizing that they talking about.
Bro, they were roasting me and I didn't even know it.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Peep this though. They inboxed me later asking for help and diet, nutrition tips. I say that to say, bro, be who you want to be. It all comes, bro. Everybody's wearing fitted clothes now. I done seen them wearing fitted clothes and fitted jeans. They ain't wearing 3XTs no more. And they were making fun of me for being who I wanted to be, bro. I wasn't hurting nobody. I was trying to do something positive, bro. And they were just roasting me for it, bro. Like, and I didn't realize it until later. And it pissed me off. Like, you know what I mean? And they reached out, one of them. They want to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I offered a bone a little bit, but like, I wanted to be like,
Hey.
but like, I didn't. But it's like, it felt good. Like, bro, I was really on the right. Y'all were wrong. Like, y'all were wrong again. Like, I'm playing, but like,
again.
They roasted me, bro. Like, and like, it's so many people out here afraid to move and do things that they want to do because they're afraid of who's gonna be saying that ain't for you. Bro, everybody called me muscle man and all that shit. And
Well, you know, we made that little piece about D Moore, but it really is you, though. You know, the crazy thing is, people, it could have been a million people. This is you and TJ to me. That come around like y'all come around. Shout out my boy TJ, my brother TJ. Come around and come off like y'all come off. And I would look at him like, okay, what is this? Hey, I've never once looked at you like that.
Yeah, look,
I've never once looked at TJ like that.
but you, because you know who you are. But like, to a lot of people, that's too much. Like,
But it's credit to you.
it is, because like, even I would be so high on myself. Jada Barber told me this, man.
Shout out Jay, man.
He was like, he told me, he said, bro, when you come in the room, sometimes you suck the air out the room. And like, it hurt my feelings, but I understood where he was coming from. Because like, I also had a sense of confidence that I'm sure some of it was a little arrogance too, sometimes. But like, I was so high on myself and just where I wanted to be, and I was happy with what I had, to where like, I would probably walk in a room and people would feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Here's this dude who's comfortable with his body. He's comfortable who he is. And a lot of people aren't. So I get that. I come in making jokes. I change the energy. People smoking. I wave it out the way. I'm like, here you go thinking you too good. I don't. But this is what I'm on. That would bother people, bro. Don't nobody want to be reminded that they doing something that they really don't want to do. They're in a position that they really don't want to be in. You know how many people told me not to get married?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Don't do it.
How they looking now, though? Not even on no shitty shit, but I've had people call and apologize. Like,
Yeah, clapping.
like some OGs, like, bro, I told you it's completely wrong.
Because they're damaged and they had issues, bro.
They didn't mean me no harm.
They didn't. They were just scared. They'd be like, oh, bro, don't do it. Don't have kids. You be broke. Bro, I'm so rich having a family and kids. Beyond wealthy.
Don't miss what he's saying.
Beyond wealthy, bro, off of family, bro.
Don't think
People like, you gonna be broke. Kids is expensive. My wife and my kids can be problems, but they're the best problems that I have. You know what I mean? Like, problems are good. I don't want to not have problems.
There's no growth.
What am I doing? I'm not even living. I don't have a problem.
What are you living for if you know?
No growth. I want problems.
That's the for lack of a better word, best money you can have. Love.
For real.
Man.
And that was very hard for me coming from where I came from. And it's crazy because like, I'm better now, but I would avoid like when I first started going to my church, City of Truth, I love the pastor, I love the environment, but what I didn't like is how loving they were, because they would hug you, and I hated it. You walk in, bro, you have to hug 4 people, and I'd be like, ugh, bro, like I'm better now. I remember one time Armor, Pastor 83, he hugged me, he was like, he saw it, he hugged me, he was like, we gonna get you there. And like I was like, oh, am I that bad to where the pastor gives me a hug and he's like, we gonna get you there, bro. He felt it. That's wild, damn. It was like, we gonna get you there. Oh man, and like I'm better now. I'm much, much better now. But like I just wasn't you, bro. We didn't hug. We didn't do that. My wife, that's her energy. That's what she told me we was gonna do. She was right. But like I didn't do that. Hugging. I love you. Love you, bro. Huh?
You need your hug.
This boy's off the chain. But like they didn't do it. Nobody told. We didn't tell each other we loved each other. My dad and my mom and stuff. We do it now. And like he was cringy at first. I ain't gonna lie. What? But like we do it now, and I feel a little bit better. I'm at 75%. You know what I mean? I still be like, this is weird. But like, you know what I mean? I'm much better. But like, it was a lot, man. It was a lot.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge for you to express, because you. And we're gonna close out in a minute, because I'm gonna be you and man, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't want this to be no 3-hour podcast.
But
go ahead. You can cut some of them.
I ain't cutting nothing off.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about, because I know people got stuff. He got to go to work.
All right.
Where was I going? I forgot where I was going.
Before we close off and something.
Damn, I forgot where I was going with that. What was the last thing you said?
I don't know. I don't know at all.
Whatever, but I guess it wasn't that important to say. I'll get it back. We talk about, damn, I'm going to cut this part out for sure.
That's cool.
What you say? No. It was something I wanted to, in closing. Oh.
Got it.
I've said this before too, because this is something I just heard. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Shout out Jay-Z. I heard him say that.
Things don't happen until they happen for you.
Things don't happen to you, happen to you.
Until they.
Not until they happen. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Oh, okay. Things don't happen. Okay. They happen for you.
Your life. All the ups, the downs, everything you've been through.
I don't regret any of it. I love it, bro. I like who I am. The trauma.
Yes.
Like I like it. It puts me in a position to where I can be like, you can do this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It makes you. I want to be relatable, bro. I love it. Oh, I don't regret any of it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to erase any of it. I don't want to give it up. I don't. Because it makes me very appreciative of where I am now.
It's a story.
I'm so appreciative, bro. I'll be like, oh my, I'll lay in the bed like, thank God, thank you, please, thank you. Thank you, I'm happy. I'm like, thank you. I will say I have to be careful though. Is that I set the bar at a position for myself to where it's like, I'm good. And like, I have to realize like, you can move up, you can do some other moving, you know what I mean?
Always.
So like that's something that now I'm like, okay, bro, like, can't be just content either. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta move. So like, that's something that I'm definitely ready for. You know what I mean? I might finally get my podcast thing out the closet and use it.
Oh, your voice is important. Your story is important. You, while you think you're doing it for you or whatever you think you're doing it for, it's of service to us. So you're serving us. You're serving us, and that's what we're put here to do, love and serve each other.
Yeah.
So take it as moving in purpose. It may not have been on the platform you expected it to be on.
Yeah.
Stuff. platform is God is calling you to.
I'm happy that you brought me here to do this, man. It was hard to do.
Listen, he told me he was gonna reject my offer a couple of times.
I just didn't want to do it.
And I almost forgot about that. I want to say I appreciate you because it's an honor for you. And like I said, we're not the closest or whatever. I hope to build on this relationship even more.
Yeah.
We're not the closest. We're not. I haven't dug into you. Like we haven't told each other like major secrets.
So all this is new to you.
For you to just come on here and
Yeah.
do that willingly for me, even though you were just apprehensive about it.
I was a little bit. I don't like this. Nobody knows this shit.
Something pushed you to do this. It wasn't me. It wasn't you.
I gotta get over myself too, bro. Like, bro, get over it, bro. Like, really get over it. Like, yeah, you still got it tucked. Like, get over it, bro. Put it out to get over it.
It's so many layers we gotta dig through still as far as you. Like, it's all of us know. We just got the tidbit of it or whatever, but we got that much. That's a step. So I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem.
I know where I was going earlier.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
I was about to say it, but I'm gonna ask you first.
Go ahead.
You've gotten to the point where you can say, I love you to your parents or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or even to your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You hate me, as you keep saying. I don't think you hate him as much.
Not as I used to, but I did have a problem with men.
Let's just use you and D Stans.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, y'all been with each other for years or whether maybe on and off, I don't know y'all situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell that man you love him?
I sure could now.
Have you told him you love him?
I have not.
I challenge you to.
God, you trash.
I challenge you. You never know how much somebody needs to just hear that. And they hear that from you,
You're right.
a person they know don't
I don't do
put
it.
out that type of. I've heard these stands tell him his boys he love them and stuff like that.
I
Know what I'm
can't.
saying?
Oh, man.
But you love them.
I do love these days. I definitely go to war for these stands. He's such a good person.
Don't wait till something happens to tell your brother
Facts.
you love him. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
In closing, would you like to leave us with anything? Is there anything you want to leave us with before we?
I think it's just really important for people to really look at their lives and really, really decide what you want. I think we fight and we look at other people and we see what other people are doing and we try to morph into something that we're not. And that's okay, but you're going to deal with the consequences of that. That's why we have a lot of depression, a lot of suicide. I feel like because a lot of people are trying to live a life that they don't really want to live because they think that's what it's supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like people jump in street shit and then they get street shit happen to them because they see other people or they think that that's the option. You know what I mean? Like, be who you want to be. I heard this thing it's like if you're gonna be a family man, to be a family man. I forgot what movie that's off of. If you're gonna be a family man, to be a family man. Like, and I was like, I'm gonna be a family man. Like, I don't even want to, like, my big thing is when you look at my Instagram, you know exactly what time I'm on. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be sending out mixed signals. I don't want to be looking like I'm available. Mm-hmm. If you have a wife or a woman, represent them, be strong in who you are, and tell the world that this is who I am and really stand on it. Don't be putting up smoke screens and acting like this and looking available and trying to be too cool. It's trash. We're getting too old for it. It's going to set you up for failure. So look at your life and really decide who you want to be and what you really, really want. And be about that, no matter what else you want to be. People thought me being in the fitness was corny. They thought the family shit was corny. I heard it all, bro. Like, I've heard it all. I used to see people. I know it. I didn't care because this is what I wanted. And everybody has to really look and decide what they want. You know what I mean? And really be that person. And be on that type of time. You can still chase the money and build that up too. You can do all that. You can be that, but like really be who you want to be. Because there's people out here just chasing stuff to put a persona up of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just to look it like it. They want the picture. You know, but like, bro, be who you really want to be. Appreciate you, man. I love you, bro.
Oh, man, I was gonna say it first. I love you.
I won.
But let me just say something.
Okay.
Before I go. First of all, we only look at shit corny that we want to be. Nobody, a lot of the times, a lot of us in the hood, a lot of us from certain backgrounds, come on, cuz we all look at fairy tales and be like, damn, I want that kind of love, that type of stuff or whatever. A lot of times it only comes from, we don't hate you, we envy you.
Yeah.
We don't think it's corny. We think that's the cool thing to say. That nigga corny. Inside it's like, damn, cuz I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Enough of us just ain't saying that to you.
Yeah.
Enough of us just not saying that out loud for the rest of us to hear.
Yeah.
Because we are we are made to think that certain ways to move are cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not just really blaming or talking about nobody for thinking like that, but I need you to know.
Yeah.
We don't really believe
I know. And
corny.
as I get older, I understand that like people just mature at different levels.
Yeah.
Because once people realize that life is bigger than a lot of other stuff, then they be like, oh, snaps. Like this part is important to me. I just think I was blessed to see early on from some of my past traumas what I didn't want. I know what I don't want. You know what I mean? And I knew what I had to do away with to get to a certain spot. And now I feel like emotionally I'm a lot more stable to like really, because I was afraid I wasn't gonna be emotionally stable enough to like handle some of the bigger stuff that I might be able to achieve.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fall apart.
Yeah.
But like now I feel like I'm in a much better spot. I won't be a hermit crab in my basement no more.
You just give people grace. You give people grace to grow at their own speed or whatever. And I don't want people to confuse me, for lack of better words, butchering him about his purpose as him not being him. He's always been him from what I've seen, but we need more of him. There's so much of him he's not releasing. And I know it's a heavy burden to carry, but you built to carry that burden.
I appreciate
You
that.
built to carry that. The goal is to leave a lasting imprint on minds and heart. We pray to be indelibly marked.
My nigga.
Love you, bro. Appreciate you.
Love you too, man.
Man, call that man.
Damn, I'm gonna call D Stands on the way else I leave.
Hey.